Let's hop into the Snack Guy time machine and revisit the top 10 snacks from the 1990s. My number 10 it's a weird one. You know the chips Doritos? Well, back in the 90s, somebody thought, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea if we took the, 2D chip and made it into a 3D Dorito? Well, that's exactly what they did. Number 10 is the 3D Doritos. The 3D Doritos were basically just a Dorito that they made 3D. It was kind of like a bugle in shape, but still triangular, but had the same dust on it that a Doritos chip did. There was a few different flavors that the Doritos didn't come in normally, but if you're feeling nostalgic about the 3D Doritos, you can stop by any store, or, Walmart and Amazon, and find the 3D Doritos that are being remade right now. Okay, so my number 9 snack is a candy, and a candy is a snack, but I'm mainly choosing number 9 for its commercial value. And I'll let you see why. So the Baby Bottle Pop was a baby bottle where the top nipple half, God, the 90s were weird, where the nipple half was the candy and the bottle was the sugar that you took the little nipple and you shook it up and you sucked all the sugar off it. And, the 90s, well, that was my number 9. So number 8 kind of had some controversy behind it. It's the Wonderball. The Wonderball is basically a chocolate sphere or ball that was hollow and had some kind of crappy, like Flintstones vitamin candies on the inside, but it also had a little toy. Kids of a certain age tend to put everything into their mouths. And when you have something that is non-digestible inside of a chocolate ball surrounded by candy, people choked. There were some choking issues with the Wonder Ball, but I absolutely loved it because it's a toy and a candy all in one, and you never knew what you were going to get. It was wrapped in kind of like a tin foil wrapper, and there's a box with it, and it was like a gift candy, kind of a gag thing, but it was really cool. So that is the Wonder Ball. So my number 7 is Warheads. Warheads are a extremely sour candy. I'm sure there's other sour things out on the market now, but back in the 90s when I was in school, this was the most sour thing that we've seen at that time. We used to take Warheads and do Warhead challenges. So you would have a bag of Warheads and you'd unwrap each one. They're each individually wrapped. And you would see how many Warheads you could put in your mouth before you had to spit them out because they were way too sour. So we would do this at lunch, out in recess, on the school bus. I guess it became such a problem because all these kids were having, candy and spitting candy everywhere that my school actually outlawed Warheads. Probably the best thing to do. If thinking back on it, I probably ingested way more sugar and way more sour stuff than my stomach should have handled. But Warheads were really cool. They had quite an amazing ad campaign. They had a little character that went along with it. But Warheads are still around today. I had them not so long ago, and I don't think they're as sour as they were when I was a kid. That could just be, I've had more sour things now. You have the sour gummy worms, sour gummy bears, whatever. But let me tell you, for a long time, I couldn't eat a Warhead, so I would take the individual candy, put it in water to get rid of some of the sour, and put it in my mouth. I don't know why I didn't just get, Jolly Ranchers, but who knows? The 90s was a weird time for what parents thought was okay to put in their kids' lunchboxes. Number 6 is definitely one of them. Fruit by the foot. They claimed it was a fruit snack, but it was basically just, fruit taffy, fruit toffee that was in a roll form, kind of like a roll of film, but it was, I don't actually know how long a fruit by the foot was, but it was many feet long with that ridiculous white paper behind it. And occasionally there would be fruit by the foot that was sponsored by Garfield or Superman or something. So like they would have imprints on the fruit by the foot and on the tape itself, and that was how they sold to us then. But fruit by the foot was actually pretty delicious. It was, all artificial fruit flavored deliciousness. Another thing, just like Warheads, that we would take and have weird lunchroom competitions with. Like, how much fruit by the foot can you cram into your little mouth at once? Or can you just take the paper off and eat the entire thing? I'm sure the staff of the school hated it because you always had those feet long things of paper strips everywhere. But I don't know. When I used to open up my lunch bag at school and I saw a fruit by the foot, it was amazing. Would I give my child a fruit by the foot today? No. It's you're literally giving them candy. For number 5, we are getting to my favorite pre-packaged brownie that's on the earth. And I honestly didn't know this thing was created in the 90s. I thought it was around for much longer. So number 5 is the Little Debbie Cosmic Brownies. It's basically a rectangle of chocolate fudge brownie with little M&M style cosmic pieces on top. It was delicious. It came in a clear wrapper. You can 100% still get this today. I'm going to do a full review on it someday on the Snack Guide, but still to this day, I will pick up a cosmic brownie. Sure, it's not the most chocolatey thing in the world. If I want a real brownie, I'll go to a bakery or make my own brownie. But for a lunchbox treat from my nostalgic youth, yeah, my brain is probably tricked into actually liking it more than it actually should. But we'll find out in the review. So number 5 is the Little Debbie Cosmic Brownie. Number 4, Gushers. Gushers are such a weird thing. It's a gummy bear or gummy shape. They're kind of like, what was the shape? A gusher was kind of like shaped like gemstones, like weird edible gemstones that when you chewed on them had a soft exterior, but the inside was kind of like a lava cake. It kind of gushed in your mouth, and the inside was basically the same flavor as the outside. It was that generic fake fruit flavor that, we grew up on and everybody's grown up on. It's delicious, it's bad for you, it's whatever. Number 3 is Dunkaroos. But the original Dunkaroos, where it had the little kangaroo guy on the outside of the packaging, and the cookies tasted better, and they just weren't, it was probably more processed than today, but it was still delicious. So if you don't know what a Dunkaroos is, Dunkaroos? What a Dunkaroo is. If you don't know what Dunkaroos are, they are a package of cookies where one little half of the plastic container is icing. So you basically have cookies and icing where you make your own sandwich cookies, or you can just do them individually, or just eat all the cookies and eat all the icing. You can still get them now at, Walmart, ShopRite, wherever you have your local grocery stores. But they're in the individual pack. I believe when we were kids in the 90s, they were, a 6-pack. So you can have your lunchtime cookies in a multi-pack and your parents wouldn't have to go crazy buying individual packs of Dunkaroos. But anyway, Dunkaroos have such a nostalgia and such a satisfying flavor and such a satisfying, like you're making your own snack. You're making it yourself. And as a kid, that's amazing. So number 3 is Dunkaroos. Here we are at number 2. Some might argue that my number 2 and my number 1 aren't necessarily snacks, but they're not snacks. So number 2 is Lunchables. Once again, this is another snack that I thought was out maybe in the 70s, maybe in the 80s. No, Lunchables came out in the 1990s. We had such amazing things in the 90s that you would just think, oh, this has been out our entire lives. No, I guess it is a long time ago. The 90s was 30 years ago. So Lunchables have been out for 30 years. The ones I remember are reliving them pretty bad today. The original Lunchables was basically crackers, round pieces of deli meat, either ham, bologna, or turkey, and some kind of yellow processed cheese, along with some kind of little snack. Sometimes it would be a fun-sized candy bar, sometimes it would be cookies, sometimes it would be, one of the other snacks that I mentioned today. And if they were doing a promotional thing, it would be whatever that promotional item is, so like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, candies, etc. So a Lunchables, to me, is a snack. You could bring it as a full lunch, but you'd have to supplement some other things with it. 90s me probably had these more as a lunch than as a snack. Adult me, this would be like an in-between meal thing, or if I'm not really eating a full lunch, it would be a good snack if I'm having an early dinner. But I would definitely say Lunchables, original Lunchables, the small ones, are 100% a snack, and they're my number 2. Pizza in the morning. Pizza in the evening. Pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime. That's right, the number 1 90s snack, pizza bagels. The little, terrible, actually, they're terrible bagels, but altogether they are a delicious snack. Pizza bagels are one of the most iconic snacks that, once again, didn't know were made in the 90s. I mean, pizza bagels themselves are a thing. They've been a thing for as long as bagels, sauce, and mozzarella cheese have been around. So bagel bites are just an amazing combination of the 3, 2, whatever. They're basically, it's a mini bagel with sauce and cheese, and sometimes they have meat and other things. But the basic is just cheese, sauce, bagel. That's it. You can put them in the oven, but normally you put them in the microwave. When you come home from school, it's a great afternoon after school snack. It's kind of a meal. Like, I've definitely had pizza bagels or bagel bites as a snack. I will eat these day in, day out. Whenever they're on a table, I will eat them. I don't know. There was a conversation we were having the other night. Would I eat a bagel bites for breakfast? It's technically a bagel, but it's also pizza. I mean, I do eat cold pizza for breakfast, but I don't honestly think my brain would know how to comprehend a bagel bite for breakfast. It might just ruin my entire day, but any other time of day, it'll be perfect. So definitely go to a store. If you've never had bagel bites, stop what you're doing. Let the video go to the end so I get the full view count. But stop what you're doing, go to the store, get yourself some bagel bites, throw them in the toaster oven, and you'll be just in heaven, and you'll want so many more. Thank you so much for watching. This brought back so many nostalgic memories of the 90s. There's also so many snacks from the 90s that I didn't put on the list. There's other things called string things. The only thing I remember about that is they're the same thing as fruit by the foot, but in string form. So you took them off a wax sheet of paper and you ate them. Usually you would just take them and eat them in your mouth. There was another one too. Let me look at my phone because I'm a terrible human being. Fun Dip. So a Fun Dip is the same thing as a baby bottle pop, just doesn't have the cool song to it. And technically the Fun Dip was re-released in the 90s under the current name Fun Dip. It was something else back in the day, but it's only a stick that you lick, put it in the sugar, and it's basically it's a different way to have sugar. But those would be the other two that I would be adding to the lists. But I think my top 10 list is pretty perfect just the way it is. If you would add anything else to the 90s top 10 list, or you think I'm insane for adding these 10 snacks to the 90s, or you don't think a Lunchables is a snack, let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it. Maybe I'll do an 80s snack top 10 list, or a 70s, 60s, whatever. Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, my name is Ivan Hahn, the Snack Guy. Go out and enjoy a nice 90s snack, will you? Thank you so much for watching The Snack Guy. Do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, while you're at it, follow us on social media. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and the bell and all the other things YouTube wants you to do.